Message from Sooner followers. This is from Sheikh Saleh. We need to unite. Sisters, wear your hijab. Wear your beards. Be proud of your beards. Stay home, stay in your home. Stand up, unite, and stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, Saleh. We all should stand up in solidarity, not transgressing the limits of Allah, but standing together with patience and understanding. This is Sunnah followers.
With dignity, humility, and balance.
If you want to learn about how to balance and maintain your faith every day, you need to be here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, being taught by Ustad Layla Nashiba, streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnah followers. Hope to see you there, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Yusuf and this is Anu. And if you are benefiting like we are from the classes and the ongoing programming, tuning into the Sunnah followers, please donate. Let this be an ongoing Sadaqah Jariyah on your behalf. You're helping the kids, the conference, and everyone seeking knowledge. And it's a wealth of information every day you tune in. Don't forget, you are being rewarded for your generous donations to keep this programming on air. You know, just like what you're hearing, put your dollar where the dollar's at. Right here on Sunnah Followers. Don't forget, donate. Right here to Sunnah Followers and dollars at. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deen and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is Sadaqah Jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free, and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the SunnahFollowers.net website, pressing the Donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen, guys, this is very important, and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, Sadaqah Jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment. Sunnah Followers presents a new Hadith class taught by Ustada Layla Nashiba, Riyadus Salihin, every Monday and Wednesday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnah Followers. Can you tell me about the soul? When death comes, what will follow? What will be revealed when you go? Is a question that we all must know. Do you know about the soul? Assalamu alaikum. A brand new upcoming class on the book by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd, The Souls of the Dead, being taught by Ustada Layla Nashiba. Yes, right here, every Saturday and Sunday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. You are not going to want to miss this. Join us. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnah Followers. Every believer must know.
The Muqasid Tafsir.
Where should I begin when I'm starting at the end? Pursuing the higher aim, learning the meaning of every page. Where should I begin when I'm starting at the end? Another addition to your Islamic education, Muqasid Tafsir,
Muqasid Tafsir.
Healing and Governance, The Transformative Path of Sabah As-Tiwal, written by Dr. Kareem Abu Zaid. Join Ustada Layla Nashiba every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m., streaming all major platforms, channel Sunnah Follower. You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our Aqidah class, and we're continuing with the book written by Dr. Kareem Abu Zaid entitled Diluting El-Wala Wal-Bara. And we've now moved on to the chapter where we're addressing how to keep the fitra within our hearts awakened by seeking knowledge of Islam, and not just any type of knowledge. It has to be the correct knowledge of Islam. And the correct knowledge of Islam is that which is based on the only two sources of Islam, and that is the Quran and the authentic hadiths, with the understanding of those original companions. And this is important that I add that last sentence, the understanding of those original companions, because we live in an era in which everybody has their own understanding of Islam, you know, and people try to sell you their understanding of this way of life. The only understanding that Allah accepts is His understanding, okay? And no one understands this religion better than those original companions. And Allah mentions that in the Quran. So that's the only understanding that any one of us needs to have. So if your understanding of Islam is in contradiction to those originals, then I'm sorry, you're lost, okay? No one knows this deen better than they, okay? Since they are upon what their teacher was upon. And who was their teacher? The Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's the only understanding, okay? If it's not their way, then it's the highway. I'm sorry. And that's the reality. And that's what we're teaching here at Sunnah Followers. We're giving you Islam in its truthfulness with the understanding of those original companions, the originals. Okay, so this is what we're speaking about now, how to keep the heart awakened and the soul trained based on the correct knowledge and understanding. And one of the ways is the fact that we're living in the era of 2025. We have this internet here, and the internet makes knowledge so accessible to us, our fingers, but we have to be careful. And one of the things that I really want to emphasize to every Muslim listening to me, the only source, Quran which are the words of Allah and the authentic hadiths. We have to be careful of Google. Every day I end up having to check somebody about Google. You cannot learn this religion off of Google. I want you guys to know that Google is written by the non-Muslims, not the Muslims. The information that's typed into Google is typed there by the Zionists, the non-Muslims. And people who pay money, they'll put information, they'll allow information in there based on a fee. And the fee is millions and millions and billions of dollars. And, you know, if you got billions of dollars, they'll let you put your information in there. And when it comes to religions, whatever religious organizations willing to give some billions of dollars, they'll let you throw in some religious, jargon. Well, the Shiites, they got the money. They put in billions of dollars. And when you type anything about Islam, if the Zionists, they answer it. They put what they want to be in there. And then if the Shiites have put in $1 billion worth of stuff, it goes to elislam.org, and that's owned by the Twelvers. So if you want to learn Islam, Allah has protected this religion. The Prophet Muhammad already told you the way to learn Islam is to sit in the presence of the people of knowledge. That's why our religion has not been changed and watered down like these other religions. You have to learn from the people of knowledge. You can't Google Islam. You can't Google how to pray and all that stuff. You can't Google the fiqh of things. You have to hear it, learn it from the people of knowledge, one-on-one. That's how Allah has preserved and protected it. You know, this is divinely protected by Allah. So y'all be careful playing around with Google. Every time you play around with Google, you're going to get cut. You're going to get hurt. Okay? You have to ask the people of knowledge. Allah tells you that in the Quran. Allah speaks the truth. Y'all say y'all believe in Allah. You better own up to it. He says, do you believe in him? You better accept what he says. He says he's protected this religion. He tells you in the Quran, you better ask the people of knowledge, not Google. Google is not a person. Google is a internet, digital connections that men feed it. It's fed with by men. That's not fed by Allah. Better ask the people of knowledge because you're going to get hurt. Okay, be careful with Google. So, but that's the danger of this digital stuff. But today we're going to speak about the good about the internet. There's one good thing that I personally like about the internet too, and I can speak about it because my website, this is a fact, my website was the first website to use voice technology. Okay, the good thing about the internet is that it allows us to come together from around the world to speak and talk and communicate and interact together. That's a good. Remember, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said there is good and bad in everything. So tonight we're going to speak about the good on the internet and how it can help us as Muslims. So for those of you who are watching and listening to me on Beagle, make sure you open up a tab on your cell phone to YouTube so you can join YouTube and go to my channel Sunnah Followers, as it's written there at the top, and click on the live stream so you can see the PowerPoint that I'm getting ready to put up on the screen right now, inshallah. Yeah, there it is. Inshallah, there it is. Okay, and this is the book. Okay, walaikum salam to everybody that's joining. Walaikum salam, Sister Samira. Walaikum salam. There's Samira and Sister Precious and Sister Mystically. Everybody's coming in now. Okay, this is the book, and tonight we're going to cover pages 224 through 232, which is a whole chapter. We're going to speak about how to navigate the digital challenges of the internet. And we're going to speak about the good things, because we know we hear about the bad about the internet in regards to our way of life. But we're going to speak about the good things that the internet has done for Islam. Okay? It's done some good. This website is an example. Now, we have a hadith, whereas the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he predicted, Allah gave him knowledge of what would happen to the later generation of Muslims, what would come to pass for our generation. He left messages for us. This is one. He said, this matter, our religion will eventually reach every place on this earth that is touched by the night and the day. He said, Allah will not leave a house or a place of residence untouched. Allah will cause this religion to enter every house, every resident. It will be honored, and the disgraceful will be disgraced. Allah will honor the honorable with Islam, and Allah will disgrace the disgraceful with disbelief. This hadith is authentic. This hadith has come to pass. The companions couldn't imagine that. They were so few in number. They could not imagine that everybody in the world knowing about Islam. Well, hello, welcome to 2025. There is not a place here on earth, guys, that has not heard about this religion. Y'all know that. Islam is everywhere. We're all on the news. Everybody knows about Islam. Okay? We're all over the internet. We're all everywhere. So this hadith conveys the positive impact of the internet and its spread of Islam. The words of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam reflect Allah's promise that this message, the message of submission to him, will eventually reach every corner of the world, just as the night and the day touches every corner of the world. This is particularly relevant in our age, the digital age, where technology, especially the internet and social media, they serve as a medium for disseminating Islamic teachings worldwide. That's why I say there's not a place here on earth that hasn't heard of Islam. You guys know that. This hadith highlights that Allah's guidance will enter every home and residence, symbolizing the accessibility of the message of Islam in the modern world. How? Through digital platforms. It's in everybody's house, through the internet, computers, cell phones, Xboxes. Okay? The qualities of Islam are shared and celebrated, offering people the opportunity to learn about it, to embrace it, to convert to it. The message of Islam, with its values of unity, compassion, and knowledge, can illuminate people's hearts globally around the world. And it's not limited to just a certain part of the world. It transcends all geographical boundaries. This is the good of social media. This is the good of the internet. And our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke of it. Also, this hadith underscores Islam's transformative power to honor those who do embrace its teachings and to foster a sense of dignity and purpose. In this digital era, as we encounter the beauty and wisdom of Islam, people are also inspired to live more honorably and more purposefully. Even though this world is filled with so much fitna, Islam teaches and calls to good morality. So this hadith also highlights the potential for those who reject the message of Islam to experience a sense of spiritual emptiness. Subhanallah. So that's what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam meant when he said the disgraceful will be disgraced with unbelief. So those people who don't acknowledge the message of Islam, they'll be disgraced with their disbelief. And they are. They don't want to cover. They're into same-sex relationships, drugs, alcohol, and all the filth and vileness that they're into, the corruption. They're disgraced. So like a guiding light, the internet's influence stretches far and wide. It transcends the limitations of physical distance. And as we explore this boundless realm, we unveil how the teachings of Islam resonate. It resonates across cultures, across languages, and different backgrounds. And the expansive reach of the internet becomes a beacon of unity. It bridges hearts and minds across continents, just like this website's doing. I got Muslims from all over the world here listening. So geographical borders become insignificant in the face of this digital transformation, and linguistic and cultural barriers crumble under the weight of this connectivity. So this is the good of the digital era. And this is what our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke about in this hadith. There will be no household that is not touched by the light of Islam. So the teachings of Islam are no longer confined to just by physical separation. Instead, the teachings of Islam cross oceans and it spans continents. Okay, and this is a gift from Allah. Like I told you guys, Allah is the creator. He's the creator of good. He's the creator of evil. He's the creator of everything. He's the creator of you, me, everything. Nothing happens unless Allah wills it. And when Allah wills it, there's nothing you can do to stop it. Okay? Everything was written before it even existed. It was written and preserved in Allah's book that he keeps underneath his throne. He wrote when everything would happen. And the internet is a gift. And it's a gift of connectivity. And it becomes a vessel for enlightenment that transcends the physical realm, and it can ignite hearts with the light of knowledge of Allah. And we have so many different platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. They make it possible for people all over the world to come together and share and learn Islamic knowledge. So that's the good. But the bad is, what kind of Islamic knowledge? Is it the correct Islamic knowledge? That's the question. But we'll talk about that later. So the internet's ability to forge connections, it has no boundaries. So it becomes a virtual reality that brings people together, where we can form virtual communities of believers, like I did back in 1986. when we made this website, Sooner Followers. That's when Sooner Followers was formulated. Sooner Followers Online in 1986. Muslims from all over the world. We were first called Channel Kuwaiti. That's what we were called. Channel Kuwaiti. Oh, yeah. Okay, we all came together to formulate a platform where we could talk and communicate and come together from all over the Gulf and stretch across to America to communicate. Why? Because we were all Muslim. We all shared the same belief system. Plus, we were all IRC ops back then. We were all from FNet back then in the 80s. We all were IRC operators from different FNet servers, and we wanted to communicate with each other because we were all Muslim IRC operators. Okay? So we came together and formed a digital community of Muslim IRC ops. And then it branched into Lady Locks wanting to make an Islamic website. Because that's who I was, Lady Locks. And we made it an Islamic website of Muslims from the Gulf and America coming together to share Islam. Barriers down. What united us was not the fact that we were all Arabs, although we were all Arabs, but also the fact that we were all Muslims. So, social networks acting as meeting points for diverse cultures dissolve the shackles of distance and usher in a new era of cross-cultural dialogue, collaboration, and humanitarian endeavors. This is a gift given to us by Allah. And this gift has germinated a web of virtual communities that ignite connections rooted in shared interests and missions, regardless of physical locations. And within this interconnected tapestry of the digital era, we create virtual communities of believers and bound together. We're bound together due to our religious beliefs, our shared values, and our aspirations. And we form a virtual brotherhood, a virtual sisterhood that unites us. And we talk about our shared interests and our beliefs. And then eventually, what happens? No longer confined by physical distance, we then plan to meet. And then eventually we meet up. We have social events, social conferences, where we can meet and discuss in person our shared interests. So we're no longer just avatars. We're no longer just texts. We can hug and laugh and share our love for Allah together. So that's the good of the internet, okay? And in societies where secularism and materialism have taken root, you know, a lot of us experience spiritual awakening and we find ourselves isolated because it's hard to find people like us who are awakened and who are bound to Allah. So the internet, when we meet up with other awakened souls, we bond to them on the internet. So to finally meet in real life with these people who are like us, attached to Allah, you know, this is a good thing. So this is the good of the internet, guys. You know, it allows us to reach out and find people who take their religion serious like us, bond with them, plan events with them, conferences with them, study with them, and all like that. Okay? People that you can share the principles of El Wala Wal Bara with. People who, like you, can share their experiences of allegiance and disassociation with. And then eventually you try to live near each other. You find yourself moving closer to each other. You end up finding that perhaps your children can marry their children. That's another good thing about these type of virtual communities. You end up finding that maybe your children can marry with their kids because, again, they're like you. So the digital age, it presents both challenges, but there's also good opportunities within it too, and good things about it too. So we have to remember, guys, there's good and bad in everything. And the one good thing about social media is it does allow us as Muslims to reach out and find other like-minded Muslims like ourselves that we can bond with. It's also a good way for us to reach out and find other kids that our children can bond with and perhaps marry too. And we're going to stop right here for tonight. Tomorrow we're going to speak about some more good things that we can find on the internet. Not everything is bad. All right, so are there any questions or comments? Any question or comments? Yeah. Yes, sister, we've been on this internet since 1986. Sunnah Followers has one of the first websites created. In fact, it is the first one created. I used to be an IRC op. Yeah. Yeah. Any question or comments? Yes, and by the way, guys, don't forget we have the Souls of the Dead tonight. We're gonna finish up the book, The Souls of the Dead. We'll be starting the last chapter tonight, chapter 7 of The Souls of the Dead. Okay, Sister Mystic, that's what I was telling you about the internet. You're not going to learn about Islam from Google or the internet. You have to learn from the true people of knowledge. You're not going to learn about Islam from those men who are picking up women off the internet. Not everybody that you see on the internet is a person of knowledge. You see a lot of men talking on the internet who are nobodies. They're just losers. They're just men who talk on the internet. But are those people of knowledge, or are they just a bunch of losers that's sitting up on the internet who need to go get a job? So you need to stop hanging around with those men. First of all, what are you doing with those men? You shouldn't be on the internet with men anyway. You're a Muslim woman. What are you doing with those men? That's another thing. That's one of the bad things about the internet. It's led to a lot of zina. Remember, in Islam, women and men don't mix. What are you doing hanging around with these brothers on the internet? You shouldn't be with brothers on the internet. We don't intermingle with men. Stay away from them brothers. So what are you talking about? Who are these people? Who are these people? What are you doing in their comments? Who are they? What are they talking about? Are they teaching Islam? Or are they just people talking about Islam? Are these people professional teachers, or are they talkers? Anybody can talk about Islam, but are these people professional teachers? That's the problem. That's the problem of the internet. Anybody can open up a chat room and start chatting about Islam, but are they real teachers of Islam, or are they chatters trying to get views, trying to get hits, trying to get followers? There's a lot of bad in the internet, and that's sad too. It's more bad than there is good. Stop following them people. Well, oh, well, anybody can comment anything. Who are they? Why you listen to them? If a person put 3333, what is 3333? Who do you have? I could write 4444. What does that mean? I could write 5555. What does that mean? Do you have to listen to it? I mean, do you get what I'm saying? What makes you think that you have to respond to what people type? Who are these people? They could be Shaitan for all you know. Are these people anybody that you need to listen to? I could put a Quran verse. Just because I put a Quranic verse, does that mean anything? I mean, is that person, if I put 3333, what is that supposed to mean? Do most people even understand the Quran? Do they know what they're talking about? Is the person that wrote that verse a person of knowledge, or is he a shaitan? Do you know him? Is he a scholar? Do you know him personally, or could it be just shaitan or a non-Muslim just saying, read this verse. This verse means this. How do you know that's what it means? Why do you have to respond to these people? People come in my stream and write stuff all the time. Does that mean it's true? I mean, do you get what I'm saying? Do you have to believe everything people write? In other words, I mean, do you get what I'm saying? Why do you read their comments? How do you know? Who told you that their comments are true? They could be cursing the law for all you saying. They could be lying on the law. Why do you believe they're true? Who are these scholars? Name 3 scholars. Most of y'all don't know who a scholar is. Name 3 scholars. 9 times out of 10, the people you name are not scholars. If I was to ask the average Muslim to name 3 scholars, y'all can't name them. Y'all name famous personalities, but are they scholars? Nope. Name 3 scholars. What scholars? What scholars? If I were to ask you to give me 3 names of 3 scholars, you will give me the names of famous influencers, not scholars. Sister Mystical, I'm going to ask you one question. If somebody says that a woman can't be online, what must they do? They have to bring the verse from the Quran. So I want you to go to that verse and show me where Allah says women cannot be online. Give the evidence. If it's haram to eat pork, you have to give me the verse where Allah says, thou shalt not eat pork. The Prophet Muhammad said, if anyone says that something is haram, they have to bring the clear verse. And that verse must say that whatever it is haram. So if I'm going to tell you it's haram for you to eat pork, I have to bring the verse from the Quran. It doesn't say Jack went up the hill and Jack fell. That means it's haram to eat pork. It has to say it's haram for a person to eat pork. So now, nope. Do not display yourself. Does that say you cannot be on the internet? It has to say it's haram to be on the internet. It has to say that. Do not display does not mean I can't be on the internet. Do not display. What does the word display mean? That does not mean internet. Display is an English word. It's not even Arabic. Look up the word display in a dictionary. This ain't even Arabic. Look up the word do in an English dictionary. Look up the word not in an English dictionary. Look up the word display. Does any one of those three words mean internet? It has to be clear. This is not even Arabic. First of all, you have to show me where it says a woman cannot be on the internet. Neither one of those three words say internet. Neither one of those words say cannot be on. Give me the clear words. You see how Allah has protected Islam, guys? Do y'all see how Allah has protected this religion? You can't make up stuff. You cannot say 33. 33 means you can't be on the internet. Prove it. Read it in Arabic. Even in the Fusha, it mentions nothing about internet. It mentions nothing about online. When you read the Fusha, and I speak Fusha, it mentions nothing about a woman being online, not in Arabic. And I got Arabic people sitting here with me too. You read it and they're laughing. The Arabic people are literally laughing. It mentions nothing about online. It mentions nothing about internet, nothing about a woman being online like what I'm doing. They're laughing. The Arabic people, wallahi, are sitting in here laughing. And I speak Arabic. I speak Fusha. Now, let's forget the Arabic. Let's look at the English. All of you speak English. Where does that verse say in English that a woman cannot be online? Now I got the English people laughing. So y'all see how Allah has protected Islam. You Muslims have to learn this religion. Stop making animals out of yourselves. Stop playing with Allah's religion. The Arabs are cracking up in here. Yes, that's what they're saying, that verse means you can't be on the internet. I know, we know what it means, but it doesn't mean nothing about the internet. So, sister, stop listening to idiots on the internet who can't read proper English. It doesn't even say that in English. That verse is not speaking about the internet. That verse is not even speaking about none of this. It has nothing to do with this at all. Okay, but don't question idiots. And this is advice to everybody. They're laughing. Everybody listening to me. This is the dangers of the internet. There's more idiots out there than anything. Okay? Sister, I'm going to tell you what that verse is speaking about. That verse is speaking about prostitution. You see why they laughing? That verse is speaking about prostitution. Before Islam, before the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam received the call to Islam, women were treated so badly, guys. Women didn't have any rights. I'm going to explain it to her. They tell me, please explain it to her, Layla. I will, Sheikh. Before Islam, guys, women were, I'm explaining. Women were looked down upon so badly. This is back in the 6th century. These were the Dark Ages, the medieval era period. Women had no rights. If a woman wanted to be recognized, she had to prostitute herself. Y'all want to know what women had to do? They had to prostitute themselves, basically. If a woman went to the marketplace to buy goods, you know what she had to do? They would put ankle bracelets on their feet, their bangles, and bangles on their arms. And you know what they would do? They would stomp their feet to make their bangles shake, to make the noise, to get the men's attention. And they would take their cloaks and push them back to show their bust, to show off their breast, like a prostitute would have to do in order to get attention, because women were looked down upon like that. That's how bad that they treated women in the 6th century before Islam. They would move their cloaks backwards, stick their breast out, stomp their feet to display themselves like prostitutes. Islam came and gave women rights they never had before, where no longer did a woman have to display herself like a prostitute to be seen, to be acknowledged. Women were given rights that they never had before. Allah said, draw your khimars over your bosom. That's what the verse is talking about. Draw your khimar over your bosom to cover your breast, to not display yourself. I'm breaking it down. To not display yourself like you had to do before Islam. Before Islam, they had to take their khimar, put it to the back to show their breast, to prostitute themselves. That's what that verse is saying. Women had no rights, sister. So it's not talking about the internet. It's not talking about that. It's talking about displaying your beauty, your breast, adornment. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, he said adornment refers to the woman's breast. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said, this is what we women had to do in Jahiliyyah before Islam. The women had to display their breasts, their legs, their women parts to be acknowledged. This is why you have to learn from the people of knowledge. This is the hadith. Sister Mystic, I specialized in hadith. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you will never understand the Quran until you learn the hadith. You will never understand the Quran until you learn my sunnah. That's the hadith. My specialty is hadith. And I get offended as a female when I hear idiots like these brothers on the internet who are nobodies take a verse like that and tell you it means a woman can't be on the internet.
when it's talking about how Allah liberated us women and gave us rights that we didn't have before Islam, because women had to display their body just to buy a loaf of bread. To get a loaf of bread, she had to show her breast. That's what it's speaking about. Okay? So you sisters need to get off the internet. This is why I'm telling you women, thank you, Sheikh. This is why I'm telling you young girls, get off the internet. Why are you girls on the internet with these brothers anyway? You need to stop listening to these people. These people ain't teaching you Islam anyway. And instead of you learning Islam, you're busy in the comments. You're in the comments listening to these idiots who are taking you away from this religion, who ain't teaching you nothing. Get off the internet. There's more danger on the internet than there is good. And you are making people like me. I'm 65 years old. I've been teaching Islam for over 50 years. And it's a shame to see how you young girls don't know anything about your deen. You don't know the meaning of that verse. That's a right that Allah gave you and me, where we don't have to resort to showing our breast and stuff to be seen anymore. He said, don't display yourself. That verse says, do not display yourself like you used to in Jahiliyyah before Islam. And you sisters are doing it every day on this internet with these stupid men. You have to learn this religion. Get off the internet. Why are you in these rooms with these dumb men? You should be learning from a woman like me. Because I don't allow men to come in my stream. You don't see no man in my stream, do you? Where's the men in my stream commenting? I got men like Brother L, but Brother L is respectable. You don't see no men in my stream putting that crap in. So what women are you listening to? You listening to a nobody woman. You listening to a woman that's picking up a dude. You listening to these women make a mockery of Islam. They ain't teachers. They ain't qualified to teach Islam. You listening to some life coach who got a bunch of men in her stream making her feel like she doing something. You ain't listening to no reputable nobody. Because if you were, she'd be like me. She wouldn't have no losers in her stream. Because it's an insult. You young girls need to get it together. You're disgraceful. Don't understand the basics. You should know what that verse means. Every Muslim female should know what verse 3333 means. I knew what it meant when I was 10 years old. And I'm 65 now. What do you mean you don't know what 3333 means? You should know what it means. It means don't prostitute yourself. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that you can't be seen. All right, I'm logging out. I am so ashamed of you young girls. You young girls got a lot to learn about your religion. Yeah, I'm 65. I am not 25. All right, I'm logging out for tonight. You girls got a lot to learn about Islam. Get off the internet with these men and sit down with your mom. Your mother should have taught you this deen. Get off the internet and find a female bona fide qualified teacher so you can learn what 3333 means. All right. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.